Hey guys, this is Alex Kubasek with ConvertSource. So today on the show, we are going to be talking about using AI. And before you guys get really scared, we're going to be talking about how it can easily be implemented into your business so that you can put your lead generation on autopilot. Now, this can be used for e-com as well as lead generation, even just for prospecting. It's really kind of like a rinse and repeat, drag and drop type of situation. But this particular process is what needs to be paid attention to within the coming years, really just because of the way that the market is going in terms of new customer acquisition and how you can make sure that you're keeping your pipeline full. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, something you're trying to put into your business, or something that you want to put in your business, tune into the show today and we're going to go over how we can put that inside of your platform with as much ease as possible and make it as painless as possible. Stay with us.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
When you want your leads and sales on autopilot and to accelerate your business, you come to the source. The ConvertSource Podcast with Alex Kubasek. Let's go.
Hey, okay, so today on the show, what I really want to go over with you folks is how to implement AI into your business. Now, before you kind of go and you're saying, I'm scared of AI, it's not for me, I can't use it in my business, whatever excuse you're probably conjuring up in your head right now, do me a favor and really just push it aside. The reason being is because there's a lot of studies that are going on right now. And of course, as you know, with the digital evolution over the last 20 years, there are a myriad amount of times where you can say, okay, there was some form of an automated item, element, something within the business transaction process that was quote unquote automated. Something that you might kind of remember is really calling into a hotline. And it still goes on today with major credit card companies. You go on there and, you have a problem and they say, press 1 for this, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. And what it does is it funnels you down to a specific department, person, action, etc. And the thing is, though, is that as much as that evolution played such a huge role in terms of like cold calling or really just trying to make sure that you're in touch with the right person, the right department, there are other sources of technology that are really in our ecosystem of how we do business today. There's text messaging, there's emails, there's video chats, there's chat right on the website, there's live chat, there's this, there's that. There's a ton of different things that are out there today that are here to help the consumer, the end user, with that customer journey and pairing them with the right, let's just say, solution. Let's just call it a solution for right now. Whether you're a lead gen or whether you're an e-commerce based business, the solution is what the consumer is looking for, your end user. So really today we're going to be talking about and showing you and really pulling back the curtain, or popping the hood in this case, and saying that we're going to create a system that uses all of those things. Because it's not just one size fits all. I know that you're probably sitting there and saying, of course, yes, of course he had to use that blanket disclaimer, yes. The reason why it's not a one size fits all type thing is because there are different ways that your business does business that is successful. If you do better over the phone, if you do better through text messaging, believe it or not, very large deals are done over text messages. Some people just do not like to talk. They're very cut, they're very dry. They like to say yes, no, etc. There are those types of people out there. So what you need to have is you need to have a system that engages somebody on all platforms, basically cross-channel marketing and engagement, to make sure that you're basically covering all your bases, but it's done so in a way that really is reflective of how you are successful in business. So do me a favor, and I want you to take a second. I want you to really just think about your ideal deal process, right? Whenever everything goes to plan, if you could wave a magic wand, all those fancy terminologies, what is that ideal process? And when you've got that in your mind, and take a second and pause this, whatever you need to do. But now that you've thought about that, what are those steps? right? So like, I mean, down to the most granular portion, is it you pick up the phone and call? Did somebody fill out a form for you? What are those processes that someone would go through with you on an offline basis? That's very key right now. And of course, I know you're probably thinking, why are we talking about offline? You're an online guy. Well, there's always a method to my madness. So in this case, think to yourself, okay, how has it gone the best offline? And simply what I want you to do is I want you to say, okay, now we just want to turn that into a digital me, right? So that's all it is. It is that simple. That is the massive epiphany. That is, the lottery ticket right there. That is the magic sauce. Simply digitizing you and that perfect deal. The reason why we do it and we look at it in that simplistic type of fashion is because it's actually not that hard. Believe it or not, most of the people out there, and I'm sure that you've listened to this guy, this woman, this one, this person, that have tried to basically shower you with terminology, with this, that, and the other thing that basically make you feel like I can't do this without that person. Those are kind of referred to as gurus. They may or may not be. I'm not here to judge that. But the bottom line is that although that jargon, that lingo, those pieces, those components of a funnel need to be addressed, you have to understand the foundation first. Let's back up a second. Let's zoom out of all the confusion. Let's take a deep breath and let's say, okay, this is when it was going good. This is whenever we were kicking ass, taking names. These were the best years I ever had. Everybody always likes to talk about their trophy days and when they were top salesperson or this, that, or the other thing. When it was going that good, what were those steps? What were those processes? And I'll tell you why. It could have been 50 years ago. It could have been a year ago. The reason why I want you to think about those is because the psychology of a person and the way that they buy have not changed that much. The psychology certainly hasn't changed. It hasn't. But the way that we communicate that perfect deal that we're talking about, that has changed. Now, the reason why I want us to think about both the psychology and the way that we communicate, we were talking about cross-platform messaging a moment ago. The reason why I want you to think about those is because that's where the magic and the secret sauce lies to say, okay, here's the perfect deal. Here's when it was going good. Now what we do is we simply digitize it. I'm not going to make this complicated for you. It's not complicated. They say if you want to help somebody the most, help them understand. Well, I'm here to help you understand today. If, for example, you are somebody that does better over the phone, let's talk about this for a second. Picture this. So we have somebody that's interested. Let's say that you were a furniture store, right? And you are somebody who obviously just does better over the phone. You do better with people. You like working with them. You like finding out their problems and providing them with a solution via different technology, with mattresses, with beds, with pillows, etc. So you're better with people. Okay, so then what we want to make sure that we're doing is we're getting you in front of people, but digitizing that process in terms of how they get to you. Because the thing is that you don't want to deal with people who are going to waste your time. The whole point of digitizing the sales cycle, or as much of it as you can, is to shorten the sales cycle, decrease the cost of the sale, the time, the resources, etc., that which obviously increases the ROI. So what we would do is we would say, okay, well, instead of you sitting there making cold calls, talking to somebody who purchased a mattress from you 7 years ago, hey, it's time to renew, blah, blah, blah. What we do is we would simply start to use some specific digital outreach in terms of social media advertising, different forms of digital advertising, email marketing, reigniting the list. But all of the reason why we use these tools is because they are on autopilot. They are set so that whenever they are running 24/7, 365, even after you shut the lights off for the day, you are still engaging with those people at the time that they wish to engage with you. And you might be thinking, well, how does that even work? Well, You can program your emails, for example. And this is probably something you already know, but you could program your emails to go out at a certain time that most people are most likely to engage with. There are benchmarks out there that say, if you are in this industry, the time to hit your list and engage with people through email is XYZ. You can literally create content ahead of time, and we can talk about content creation. We've got a ton of other shows about that, but you can create email messages that are specific, to re-engage your list. Of course, I don't know if you've segmented them or not yet, but there's a possibility that you have. But there are other products that you sell, pillows, different mattress covers, different, support systems, different technology, different things that you can use to upsell your list, reignite your list on an ongoing programmed basis. And you'd be amazed that literally some people completely revolutionize their revenue just by hitting their list, reigniting their list. We've worked with so many folks that they had a great, huge database, but they were spending so much money on advertising. And yeah, they were doing well, but the thing is that they didn't have to. I wholly recommend digging into your list first, testing out your messaging before you go to advertising. Because those are people that have already bought from you. Those are people that are going to tell you, is this a good deal? Is this a good offer type situation? Of course, that was a, sidebar. But the thing is that you can program all of these things so that you can, even after your lights are turned off for the day, you're engaging with your customers. Same thing with digital ads. If it's Google ads, which I'm sure you've heard about, but those are very intent-based. When you have a question, where do you go? You go to Google. You look for an answer. You go to a search engine. You type in what's called a query, a question, and then the best ad, the most relevant piece of content that answers your question or your query will come up. And so that's something that's very intent-based. If somebody is searching for a mattress, a pillow, a box spring, something, it is structured so that we literally make it so that you come up first, so that people are engaging with you and you're looking at you as the authority. With social ads, like on Facebook, Instagram, things like that, those are very kind of targeted, but they're pattern interrupters. So we have to be a little bit more creative with our videos, with our images, things like that, so that we can make sure that our offer, our answer to something that they're going through is relevant. You might be saying, well, how do we make it so that it's relevant if it's a pattern interrupter? Well, that's through the beauty of the targeting. We can target people who are literally in market looking for something that you provide, your product or service. And of course, whenever we're targeting those people, you come up first, or you have an answer to their solution. They are far more likely to view you as the authority and engage with you. Those are just a few different ways that you can automate your messaging to start to attract leads into your business. Now you might say, okay, this is all fantastic, but how does this relate to the fact that I am a person who likes to deal with people? Well, here's the best part about it. Since we've already digitized getting people to your business, to talk to you, right? So it might have been for whatever deal you're offering for that particular pillow, mattress, box spring, what have you, that different piece of new technology. More often than not, you've got a form on your website, you have a website, you have something that you can exchange their information for something that you have to offer them. Very low ticket, very, it's high value to them, doesn't really cost you anything, but it gets them to start communicating with you from the Google ad, the email marketing, the Facebook, Instagram ads, etc. And so what that does is that gets somebody to automatically qualify themselves to you. And so now the biggest and most difficult and hardest and scariest part, generating new business, has been removed for you because you have already got them to come to you. And it's literally the first part of the formula where you're talking about attraction, getting them to come to you. And it's because it was targeted. So whenever that's targeted and they come to you, guess what? They are far more qualified. I gotta take a drink. They are far more qualified with you. If they're already far more qualified with you, don't you think that the sales cycle is going to be a little bit shorter? so that it's going to decrease also your investment in the sale of time and resources and thus increase your ROI. Because if you can get more people through the cycle, right, getting to them and be more qualified so that you can shorten the amount of time it costs you to actually make a sale, don't you think that you're going to be able to bring more business through and you're going to be able to speed that cycle up and thus increase revenue? That's exactly how you can digitize parts of your business. And like I said, this works with e-commerce, this works with lead generation, this works with any industry at any time, any offer, it doesn't matter. All we have to do is just think about the ideal process that you want it to look like for when a deal is being made, and we simply have to digitize it. That's all. And so whenever we think about this, and that's why I asked you to kind of go back and say, when it was going good, or if I could wave a magic wand, what would the best deal look like? And what we do is we look at the different pieces of cross-channel marketing platforms like text messaging, like email marketing, like ads, like this, like this, like this. And we take that tool and we simply digitize your message, what you would be saying, what you would be doing to normally attract somebody or qualify them, because the second part of the entire formula is qualify. Like I said, we want to attract them, but then we want to qualify them. And the reason being is because the attraction and the qualification part are the two biggest time sucks that are out there. And the reason being is because the majority of the time you're going to be dealing with people that are called tire kickers. Those are the people that are just looking for a quote. Those are people just looking for something for free. Those are people that are just doing research, etc. We want to make sure that we diminish that and we eliminate that as much as humanly possible. So if we can systematize and digitize that with these cross-channel different platforms, obviously that makes it so that you're only getting on the phone with people to, and here's the third part of the process, convert. Number one, attract. Number two, qualify. And number three, convert. It is a very complicated, very complex three-step system that is completely revolutionary. I know, it's mind-blowing. So attract, qualify, and convert. And all of this can be digitized. That's what I'm saying to you. So you can literally go from start to finish as like an e-commerce business, and you never have to meet a customer once. You can go through the entire process of getting somebody to pay you thousands of dollars by simply digitizing you. For example, I'm sure that you've probably heard of it before. It's called a webinar, right? It's literally the number one way to, without interruption, sell somebody, right? You literally have 45 to 90 minutes of uninterrupted sales time of you teaching people, you converting people, educating them and qualifying them, step two, so that you can convert them. And guess what? That might be something where you're selling a course, selling a program, a mastermind, a high ticket, this, that, or the other thing. And the thing is that you never even have to personally meet them. If you want to, that's great. You can digitize that, but it's just all dependent on your goals and what and how you want it to flow and how you had the best deal flow in mind. And we simply digitize it. That's all. That's it. That's as complicated as it gets. So when you get bogged down, you get frustrated, and you hear about all these people saying this, that, and the other thing, and there's these new shiny, fancy objects, take a breath, take a step back, and just think about your perfect deal process. And then we just start digitizing it one thing at a time. It's never going to be perfect. So do not wait to start digitizing and automating and systematizing your process, because it's never going to be perfect. There are things that we can add along the way, but it's never going to be perfect. It's because it's a living and breathing system. Because there are new things that are coming into the market every day. There are new apps, there are new solutions, there are new toys, etc. But what you always have to keep focused on is your perfect deal-making process. And then all we do is we simply take that new tool, and if it works for us, and if it fits into our model, we adapt it to our system. That's all. That's literally it. So I don't ever want you to get bogged down by all of these new fancy tools, apps, objects, strategies, etc. Your best asset in terms of strategizing is remembering your perfect deal. So I hope today was really helpful for you guys. I hope that it calmed some people down. Recently, I've been getting a lot of people that are, kind of jumping ship or flying the coop or whatever analogy you want to use, or really they've just gotten very scared and their system isn't working or the way that they do business isn't working. And more often than not, we find people that are just contracting at that point. They're just pulling back and they're saying, this isn't working. We need to figure something else out. The problem is that if what is working for everybody else in the world isn't working for you, then what we need to do is we simply need to take a beat, take a breath, pop open the hood, and look at where leads and customers are simply just falling out of your funnel, falling out of the pipeline. There's a leak somewhere and we just have to plug it up. That's all. It's nothing complicated. It's nothing to, sound the alarm about. We just have to find the leak. That's all. And we simply plug the leak, turn it back on, and we start flowing again like magic. That's it. So I hope that today we were able to kind of bring you to a little bit of peace, bring you to some ease, also inspire you, give you some new ideas. And just like I literally always say, one of our biggest value metrics is not just helping you create something that makes you happy. A big value metric of ours is creating something that not only makes you happy, but gets your solution to your end user to make their lives better as well. That's a big value metric of ours here because that's the full cycle. That's the full circle that makes it so that we know, okay, we have helped you grow and we have helped your product benefit somebody else's life. So if you guys ever want to do business, if you want to just talk, if you just want to call, if you want to chat, if you want to go through your funnel, whatever you need to help you in your business, just feel free to reach out to us. ConvertSource.com, support at ConvertSource.com if you want to shoot us an email, ConvertSource.com if you want to visit us on our website. We've got trainings, we've got ConvertSource Insider. It is literally jam-packed. Our team has literally taken everything that you need to be a modern, successful marketer and jam-packed it into one platform. It's literally affordable for any level of business owner. We did not want price to be a barrier for you guys. So if you ever just want to kind of find the newest thing that's going on or figure out how to build a successful campaign from the start or build a website, build a sales funnel, anything that relates to digital marketing, go to literally, you can email us, like I said, it's support at ConvertSource.com, or you can just go to ConvertSource.com/insider. Like I said, price is not an object here. It's so affordable that you literally have no excuse to worry about the price barrier. You can get in there instantly and you can build out as much as you want every single day. We literally have made the trainings so understandable, whether you're an expert or whether you're a brand new beginner starting a new business. ConvertSource.com/insider, or just like I said, reach out to us at support at ConvertSource.com. And we hope to talk to you. We wish you the best of luck and just be great and God bless. Thanks, guys.
When you want your leads and sales on autopilot and to accelerate your business, you come to the source. The Convert Source Podcast with Alex Kubasek. Let's go.